Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Gigi. I hope you don't mind. It's audio only today. I want to talk about quantum Bayesianism, also called QBism for short, and this is absolutely related to manifestation. Don't you worry. It will be clear very soon. But first, let me tell you a little bit about QBism. This was created by Christopher A. Fuchs, who, in his own words, says, "For 30 years, I have lived and breathed the question of what quantum theory is trying to tell us about the world." This man is a professor of physics at the University of Massachusetts in Boston, and he has collaborated with other scientists, scholars, physicists to put together this way of looking at quantum mechanics. How we view the world absolutely directly impacts how we experience the world. And Neville Goddard was definitely ahead of the times in the way that he talked about mental states of being. And I think if he had access to the information that we have now, he would have incorporated this somehow, some way into his lectures as well. I have to credit Naya, who's an amazing YouTuber. I highly recommend you go subscribe if you haven't already. She brought up QBism in one of her videos, and then I researched it on my own accord and just was completely fascinated by all of the different branches of quantum mechanics and quantum theory that I only scratched the surface barely. It really opened my mind and opened my eyes to different ways to see the world. And personally, I feel the most liberated and powerful as a manifester when I have options, when I have ways to look at the world that don't feel limiting, like they're trapping me into thinking a certain way. And I want to popularize going on Google Scholar and diving into topics that are interesting to us instead of just binging content that's being regurgitated, you know? Now, I did get some help from Google's AI, Google Gemini, to help me come up with this explanation about what QBism is, explained in super simple terms and using an analogy that even a kid could understand. Imagine you have a special coin, but unlike normal coins, it can be heads, tails, or both at the same time. That's the world of quantum mechanics, where things can be in multiple states at once. Quantum Bayesianism, or QBism for short, is a way of thinking about this weird quantum world. It says that instead of the coin actually being both heads and tails, it just has a certain chance of being heads when you look at it and a chance of being tails. These chances are based on what you know about the coin and how you interacted with it before. Think of it like playing hide and seek with your friend. If you haven't looked anywhere yet, there's a chance they could be hiding anywhere. But once you check a few places, you can update your guess about where they might be. QBism says that everyone can have their own idea of what's going on in the quantum world based on their own experiments and knowledge. It's like everyone has their own personal hide and seek game going on. Anyways, I thought this was a cute analogy, a good way of explaining what is essentially the collapse of the wave function concept in quantum mechanics, which talks about when a particle's wave function reduces from a superposition of possible states to a single state due to an interaction with the external world. Perhaps you have heard this talked about in terms of the observer effect, and QBism has also been called participatory realism. So an individual's observation and first-person perspective determines how they participate with their reality, how they experience their reality. That is my understanding, and I think it ties so closely to what Neville Goddard says about occupying states and how eventually you're going to have to live as your new self and really fully embody the one state, the one perspective that is going to serve you, that is going to allow you to live your best life on all levels. And so for me, when I hear the term quantum jumping or quantum leaping, I think about not really jumping or leaping anywhere, but rather collapsing a potential out of the endless sea of quantum wave potentials. I am collapsing one of those potentials due to my observation into my reality, and it's hardening into fact. As Neville Goddard would say, persist in the assumption until it hardens into fact. It's your choice. Tell yourself, it's my observation, my conscious choice that is collapsing that potential into fact, into my reality. I hope you enjoyed this brief audio today. I definitely intend to create more content on these topics. If you prefer more practical guidance, I 100% understand that, but I think that getting into the theory, science, philosophy of things is a lot of fun. So I wanted to talk about this, and really it's the tip of the iceberg. I thought it would be a fun introductory audio segment to create this. I love you guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and I will be back very soon with more videos. Bye.